Hey peeps, Pinkolol16 here in another video of Starman3's to commentate over. Well, technically a blooper, but it falls under the same category as the Halloween one. This is Super Mario 64 Bloopers Christmas Special 3. Okay. We're really getting into the nitty-gritty of when I actually began to start watching these. When these videos were originally released. I subscribed to Starman3 when I originally cared about him on the 6th of December 2012. This was shortly after he'd released Blooper 46, and I think he'd released 42, and he was making New Super Mario Bros. Bloopers or something like that. Pretty sure the New Super Mario Bros. Bloopers were better than the actual bloopers. That aside though, I was around when he did actually release Christmas Special 3, but I wasn't in the group. This was shortly before I joined, this video released shortly before I joined the chat room on Xat. This was the video that made me want to join YTR, mainly because of what happens at the end. Remember in Christmas Special 2 when the song was cut off and, because they wanted to insert a stupid joke? Yeah, that's not around this time, and half the video doesn't even exist. The video was meant to be longer, but I'm pretty sure if it was longer, I'm not going to give a crud about it, so let's just start. I initially meant to commentate over this when Christmas of 2015 happened. But of course, Starman3's channel was deleted back then, so I couldn't exactly do it even if I wanted to. I wish it had stayed deleted, then I wouldn't have to do all this. And in my video commentating list, this is the last video I'm going to commentate over that I wasn't in the developing story for the whole video. This video was the last video. Well, technically there was a video after this, but I'm gonna commentate over the remade version of that. The way I'm gonna commentate over these is the way the videos were actually released. So this is the last video that's still up that Starman3 made before I joined the group. Mostly. Also, is it really that hard to find a moving snow effect? You found rain, why don't you have snow? Don't put a filter over it, it just makes it look like you've put it through some kind of sparkly filter like those of snow globes. The snow's stationary, guys. Yes, and then you cut everyone off, Luigi. The Christmas, not just Christmas, the Christmas. So yes, apparently the demon that was in Mario in the last video is gone. It wasn't just this video that made me want to join, it was a later video that they also released where, Starman3 also said that he finally got onto the Nintendo Network on the Wii U, which I'd only just gotten the Wii U and I'd only gotten Nintendo Land on it, so I pretty much wanted to interact with people more, considering that Wi-Fi connection haunted me in childhood. I never got the chance to use it until the 3DS and Wii U came along, and that generally the fact that I could connect with Starman3 was something at the time to me was an amazing feat. Nowadays it's something I pretty much scoff at. Yay, we decorated the castle. We didn't even have to go through a text glob to do that. Unlike the Halloween video. this was the pack that I had to change, that I asked to be changed when I made my Christmas special video. Especially considering that most of the textures are really old. Look at the floor. There's no shading. I think this was the last time that Mario 54321 would probably be really active in the group. Because after this, especially since this is coming to the time where I was active, I never heard anything about Mario 54321. Aside from maybe a mention every so often. So, I'm pretty sure this was the last time that he was ever as active as he was in this year. They mentioned he was very active in 2012, but from experience, he only came a few times afterwards. Well, duh, because it's supposed to be Christmas activities. They intend to do that, but then they don't, which is stupid. So they claim it's Fraps problems, but I'm pretty sure that they were just too lazy to film the entirety of this, considering what's gonna happen in a few moments. Trollberry, you're not supposed to be involved in this, shut up. By the way, he's back after how long? And he's now totally irrelevant? He'll show us himself. This is the picture that they used off of DeviantArt, I think. Pulled the trick? Enzo asked for him to be lolllll, if you mean that specific incident. This is a picture from DeviantArt and someone else made it. People claim that Starman3 was being really stupid by not giving the guy credit for making the thing in the first place. I actually got permission from the guy to do it. From his response, back when I got the response, I don't think he cared. And by boogieing down on the floor, it's just Sony Vegas moving up and down. With a couple of boost sound effects in it. And the hue changing. Wow. That's so much activity, guys. Okay, I'm pretty sure you can cut that out. That's the kind of thing you cut out. Oh, apparently that's not what's defined as a Christmas activity then. So the dance isn't part of Christmas festivities? Aww. It was so good too! You know, just Sony Vegas moving a picture up and down. And you know, repeating that for a couple of frames. And especially since he had to resize the picture and actually kept that in. There was a thing that was beginning to happen where Trollboo and Enzo were supposed to have a rivalry. This is what I based it off of, but you know. Why Luigi? What has he done to Luigi? What has Luigi done to him? This is weird because not only is he trying to be a troll, he also makes no sense. But of course, this is Starman3. Of course he's gonna make characters make no sense. What? But there's a better word you can put in place of worst enemy. It's called arch rival, which would actually fit the situation better. And how do you know this? By the way, they're gonna alternate between calling Enzo Enzo or Pinkolol16. Everyone in the group, and especially even whilst we were playing Roblox, which is where the Pinkolol16 name came from, we would just call him Enzo anyway. So, and he wouldn't mind being called that, so it was actually kind of, nobody really cared. So, the fact that we're going to keep alternating between this is going to happen for a bit before we finally settle on Enzo. But there might be a few speckles of Pinkolol16 here and there. It wasn't even a prank. It was a Destiny behind the door thing. When did it turn into a prank? Also, these textures were made in paint. By the way, flashback. You see, he even says it in the flashback. See, it's time to know my destiny behind the door. This is obviously the video itself, which is actually fine for consistency. They were not supposed to be pranks. If you don't understand, in the Superstar Halloween video, there was a game that they play called Hide and Scare. In the game, you were supposed to pick a door, and whatever your destiny was behind the door was going to define what happened to you, and how scared you got was what would be judged, if it would even be judged at all. Only 4 people went indoors. 2 of them not even part of the game, and pretty much one of them was voluntary. Luigi. Mario got, the 4 people were Mario, SMG4, Mario 6x5, and Luigi. Mario got unintelligence because he apparently thought that he had no spaghetti, even though he spent the first 8 minutes of the video without spaghetti and or pasta. Luigi got what you're about to see. Super Mario Glitchy 4 was trapped in the door. And Mario 6x5 got some random thing, I'm not particularly sure. Luigi got this, and they specifically remember it because of the fact that it was the most original idea to record a siren. You'll hear it. I don't think we can do anything about the aspect ratio here not fitting in with the flashback. He could have brought the flashback thing closer so that it looked more like a circle, but there's so many limitations with that it's really difficult to do sometimes. Although in his case, it's actually really stupid because he can't really resize anything for the life of him, especially when we're talking Sony Vegas noise effects. Okay. This happened by chance, and they only recorded this probably like once when they even found it. This was due to the fact that Enzo's microphone was not optimized for background noise to you know, block it out. So anytime a siren would pass by, everyone would hear it, and that's where the originator for this joke came from, and it was from Enzo. The problem is, everyone in the video, in that video and this video, keeps thinking that all of the hide and scare Destiny doors were those of pranks. Mario pranked SMG4 to go in one door once, but that was only SMG4. all of the other ones were Destiny behind the door things. None of them were pranks, because Pascal Mario was hosting the game and said that all the doors had a specific thing behind them, and whatever the destiny was behind the door was your fate. Problem is, Starman3 can't keep consistency and can't even remember his own rules, so he kept completely, you know, dismissing that every single time in the video itself, and this video, obviously, since it's just the video itself. You gotta commend them though, this was obviously chance. By the way, you're gonna hear a bit of Enzo's microphone because he's kind of typing also. Pascal Mario didn't set you up with the prank, he said that he was the host of the game! exactly. It was just a funny joke. It was meant to be, how scared would you be? Mario's guilty of this whole, I didn't take it as a joke either. That's the only thing Starman3 does, sadly. He'll forget about all the bad. Which is exactly some of the message of some games. To not forget the bad things, even if they're bad, and to fight through them. Yes, we've wasted half the video talking about bad memories. By the way, Luigi's not here and he's supposed to be here. And where's Captain? He's supposed to be here too. I don't know, Starman3, they're not even in the room, so who are you asking? Watch this. This is gonna turn into the most stupidest thing ever. I'm pretty sure half of these textures, if they're not things like this, were edited in Microsoft Paint. Example, the railing and the floor. It's just gonna be called Mario Star92's gift hunting, not anyone else, not just gift hunting. It's pretty much what you'd expect. It's pretty much an Easter egg hunt, only with gifts. Okay, text dump. Teams of 2, which are a lot of YTR members. You need to find 10 good gifts and then you'll win a big gift, but there are also 10 bad gifts that you can't get or you'll fail. Also, there are traps at all the good gifts, so be careful. Pretty much, find 10 good gifts, there are 10 bad ones too, so don't get them. If you get all the 10 good ones, you get the awesomeness gift, which is probably nothing even relevant. Watch how this is taken. I'm not even kidding. They skip past the entirety of this. And we're gonna get the next character scene in a moment to see, because we didn't get enough characters the first time. Welcome to the next character scene. I'm just gonna assign myself to Mario because I've been obsessed with him all year. Xambu and Xdeath together. To be honest, Xdeath would have probably gone with Sinbad. Xambu's not a Japanese guy and stop constantly making these quotes. By the way, this is Xdeath's original color code. Yes, apparently that made him think that he looked like a pumpkin. If it's been so long since we saw Xdeath, you might not be and you might not recognize it, and or you might not have watched the original video in the first place. Not really as well. It's like they're whispering to each other. It should be not really for Xambu as well, if he's whispering it, because seriously, if they're trying to be sarcastic and then they're not going to be sarcastic and then they are going to be sarcastic, which side are they on? I'm not even telling you, but you'll see it after the thing. After a bit. It's mostly character scene in this video. This is something Smus would say. Apparently. Luigi, didn't you listen to Mario Star? You said there are traps at all of the gifts, so yeah, I think there are traps. Didn't they say there were traps at all the gifts, not just the bad ones? If you ended up in a trap, you'd know it's a bad gift, so that's just terrible game design. He said there are traps at all the gifts, so you wouldn't have any idea if the gift is a good one or a bad one. Happiness fun, yes, this is something people say. I've got to fill the member quota for this video. Or, you know, character quota for this video. This is mostly everyone who was there at the time. This apparently takes place over the course of 14 hours or something. No, duh! It's still a Christmas festivity even if it's not on Christmas Day. If it's close to Christmas enough, it's a Christmas festivity. It generally takes place over the course of a week. Before Christmas and, you know, after Christmas. Even if it like, going to at least Christmas Eve and maybe a bit to New Year's. Then it just kind of fades off. There was a long period of time where Mr. Kirby, yeah, obviously he's not been in the videos for this point, but there was a long period of time where they got really mad at Mr. Kirby and they hate him. They even hate the mention of his name for some reason. To be honest though, there were points where Mr. Kirby, did actually act like an idiot. That, like, in terms of logics and stuff. And especially with what he said, and some things were offensive. So I'm pretty sure this is the last appearance of him, if ever, at all. You already did, who cares? I already did it for you anyway. And if you can't tell, Luigi fan and Fauna partners here. There's only 2 characters per scene. These are gonna be the pairings. Well, no duh, you're both paired together. Seriously, no, learn how to find a longer version of a song, record it, and then put it in the video instead of looping the song. Oh, we're gonna suddenly break the rules now just so he can be in it. Where's his partner? Guys! He can't time the text. We'll take the location. This location? Okay. But not the location. Well, where else will we find the budget to film for this video? Well, you are brothers, so why are you saying like? You're pretty much a team, so you have to work together. The first? Well, their first gift, but not the first gift. It's not happening yet, but I'll tell you what will happen when we get to it. So you get revved up. It's this massive adventure. They're gonna find all the 10 gifts and see who the hell's gonna win. And we'll split to meanwhile scenes. And there'll actually be meanwhile scenes because they'll actually be in these locations. Only problem is they'll already have the knowledge from the previous scenes, so that'll be weird. Are the gifts the stars? Is gifts just another word for stars in this place? Yep, apparently they're just the important objects, keys, stars. Well, no, duh. Super Mario 64 was how old at that time? 2012, 1996. Well, in 2012, it would have been, 16. Super Mario 64 was 16 years old. So yes, welcome to gameplay footage times a million. By the way, do you want to know why that pipe is all Star World like? Yeah, he's still using the Star World textures in his in his ROM, and the Star World textures override all the pipe textures. Sadly, he doesn't know the meaning of if it's one thing, it's all the things. So if it's one Mario's eyes, it's all of the Mario's eyes. It's kind of a bad analogy, but if you changed, say, the floor textures, all the floor textures are going to be overlaid several times over, and they're all going to be, no matter where that floor texture is, it's always going to be that. So it's exact same with the pipe and pretty much any texture in Super Mario 64. So yeah, he was too lazy to remove the Star World texture. Actually, no it hasn't, because the last video blooper you were in was Super Mario 64 bloopers 42. And there was where you were possessed by a demon, pretty much. Wow, you were so accurate in guessing, Mario. Reddish plumber. This is something Bowser would say, apparently. This is Super Mario 64. This is old times. So remember all the previous bloopers when we went through all the music here and all those weird things? Yeah, it's just this, but with different text now. You were going to do that anyway! To be honest, after seeing it so many times in the earlier bloopers, you honestly start to get really apathetic to the areas in Super Mario 64 where you see them really early, like Bomb on Battlefield / Whomp's Fortress / Jolly Roger Base / the Bowser area. Pretty much anywhere in the first floor. After seeing these bloopers, you get really sick of them. I don't think Starman3 is playing with a controller. You can do that, but I don't think we do that. Starman3 and especially myself use the keyboard, and rotating Bowser using the keyboard is an exercise in of itself because you have to be really fast when you're doing it, because you really have to mimic an analog stick, and it's really hard to do that with 4 arrow keys. So spinning Bowser is actually a really hard feat. Another example, if you might not realize, is Super Mario 64 DS. these boss fights were done because the DS had no analog stick and every direction was done with four directional inputs. Pretty much the D-pad and the way you aimed in Super Mario 64 DS was pretty much how you would be doing it, just slightly different on the computer. Considering we have to do this in order to make sure our Game Shark codes are all right with the color codes and all that. And this is something even I struggle with, so it's not like this is something exclusive to Starman3. No, the reason why I mention in Jump In anytime he can't prepare a shot is because you can easily walk backwards when preparing for a shot because you can do that kind of thing. Here, even I have difficulty with this section, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people do because of the fact that it's an emulator, so... Pretty sure he's already in the naughty list. That was from Google Images. By the way, what the hell is this transparent bit here? Obviously somebody didn't know how to magic wand the gift properly. Yes, you're so great, aren't you? We can still see that's a key. You see those videos where they put a masked face over something? It's exactly that. And watch this. I'm just gonna assume this is happening shortly after Mario got the gift. It's not come to it yet. You said we had to do this fast, Luigi, so hurry the hell up. Starman3, there's a reason the platforms constantly connect whenever they're rotating. Are you really that scared to go to the other platform while it's moving? Seriously, this is basic Super Mario 64 stuff. That something is something I'm not gonna let him off for, because that's not something that's hard even in emulator form. Seriously, when he's got things like moon jump and stuff like that, moving across touching platforms is not a hard thing to do at all. I mean the emulator with the rotating joystick. Yeah, I know that's hard because you have to mimic it really hard. Like, it's hard to describe without actually doing it yourself, because the way it rotates is just weird. And it's not like you just go up, left, down, right. It's kind of like you have to mesh up and down and left, right at intervals. It's weird. What the hell is green luck? Even though you keep getting zapped by electrical things because Starman3 doesn't know how to play Super Mario 64. You're not out of here if you're gonna collect the last 2 red coins anyway. It's not supposed to be tricky entirely because of the fact that these are supposed to be mandatory missions, and it's kind of a design choice to let the most optional hard mission be harder than the most mandatory mission, you know? The mandatory hardest thing, I mean. Which is kind of why Bowser in the Sky and all of these levels are pretty much really easy. Including red coins. You've been talking to yourself this whole time. Why do you suddenly point it out now? So Mario gets a masked picture and Luigi gets text. Yeah, see? Even though Alberto's supposed to be sent out at exactly the same time as Mario and Luigi, he apparently has complete knowledge of the previous scenes even though he wasn't even there. Alberto should be saying, there's the first gift! Because that's their first gift. Not, you know, the third gift after Mario and Luigi's 2. And Pascal Mario's just been gaining knowledge the whole time. Oh yeah, Mario and Luigi got those 2 things. None of them were given any radars as far as I'm aware, so what the hell? Again! Starman3, Alberto was not there in the previous scenes. How does he know anything that Mario and Luigi know? See, Alberto gets that mask gift too. What the hell happened to Luigi? Again, why would he even be scared? He's dead, apparently, since we have to keep bringing that up. By the way, he's already gone halfway through the fight, so what the hell happened to the first half? I guess that happened while Alberto was going through the rest of it. Wow, really bad. See? See? Okay. The members of YTR claimed that Fraps had problems halfway through in the middle of recording this video, pretty much recording all of the rest of these scenes. I find that really hard to believe, considering Starman3's attitude to anyone that's not himself or, you know, Mario. I'm pretty sure that Starman3 deliberately skipped these scenes just so he could keep the runtime under 20 minutes. Therefore, everyone's scene is skipped. The entire character scene before was completely pointless. And therefore, that whole minigame of them finding the gifts, completely skipped over and completely irrelevant. I still find the fact that they said that Fraps had issues during the recording, I really find that hard to believe. Because of the way that all of the characters aside from Starman3 and the main 4, Mario, Luigi, Pascal, Mario, and Alberto, have been treated this entire series. You've seen the examples. How many members have we changed to get to where we are now? How many members, how many characters, how many people have we gone through to get to where we are now? And how many people of those people have been completely ditched, left alone? People who have never been seen again. That's why I find it hard to believe, and I'm pretty sure you'd find it hard to believe too. Because there's simply no way that it's simply just Fraps. Because I'm recording these videos with Fraps myself. And through the 3 years that I've had this program, I've not encountered a single error. And Starman3 pretty much is the same Fraps that, pretty much is the same Fraps that he's been using the whole time for this whole thing. Fraps, I don't see how Fraps had a recording issue. Because, considering the rest of the series, like I've said several times, I simply cannot believe it. So after everyone's character scene is now rendered completely pointless, we're going to recap them all, even though they didn't do a single thing this video except for talk. Welcome to the slideshow of low quality images. Because you can tell they were lower quality from what they were recorded before, right? Yay, we did well at minigame, you all sucked. And watch as they cop this out. Let's go through the slideshow again. The person who was on their own. Only because Mario Dillon hasn't appeared for all this time except for maybe in Blooper 41 and maybe like 5 other videos. Only because he's by himself in a Christmas video, finally he gets this chance. By the way, I don't think... Seriously, you're lucky you're not backwards long jumping into the wall and out into oblivion. Cheering, as in long jumping on the spot. This is the best year of my life, only because it happened to me. You're lucky that Starman3 didn't end up as the winner, and it's only because Mario Dillon's so obsessed with Christmas that this happened to be. Anyone else could have done this. And remember the fact that Alberto and Pascal and Mario and Luigi got 2 gifts? What the hell happened? Did they all get equal amounts of gifts and they just randomly came up with a winner? We'll never know. And we're now going to actually properly sing Jingle Bells this time. Well, not we, they are. This is an actual proper version that they actually probably recorded in their free time. This was mainly the reason I wanted to join YTO in the past. I admit, it's a very stupid idea. Especially since I can make videos with my voice anyway now, so... I don't have much to say about this section, it's just a couple of voice clips singing Jingle Bells, so... let's just listen to this. A couple of people who are in the video usually don't show their voice, so it's only going to be a real few amount of people here who are even going to be singing slash kind of speaking the lyrics, so yeah. Let's just listen now. There's only going to be a few members, so yeah. I don't have much to say for this bit. It's not something I can easily do this over.
Dashing through the snow.
There's gonna be one bit I'm gonna do though.
And the one who opens way.
Over the field we go.
You sound really bored.
Laughing all the way.
No samba, no strings.
Make it spirit bright.
What fun it is to laugh and sing to sing song tonight.
Yes, he'll voice Luigi, Mario, Alberto, and Pascal because he's that egocentric. He thinks his voices for them are the most perfect things ever. He even repeatedly demonstrated this to me several times in calls whenever he'd do it. Notice how it sounds so dumb.
Oh, it's fine. It's
And his voices for Mario and Alberto pretty much overlap with each other. Let's hear a grown man try and imitate a kid!
Oh, what boy, it is too late. What to say?
That's all I have to say. The rest of it is gonna be, nothing else.
A day or two ago,
I thought I took a ride, and soon Miss Fanny Bright was seated by my side.
The horse was lean and lame.
Remember him? He only appears once.
Portion scene has locked.
We got into it, drippy piggy, then we got upset. Oh, tingle all the way. Oh, it's fine, it's alright, what will you say? Yahoo! Tingle all the way. Oh, what boy, it is too late, what to say? Got you do this.
You can't mask cut.
Snow.
And the one who opens way.
over the field we go.
Some of their microphones, like Mario Stars, don't really... Some of them go over the song, some of them don't.
Laughing all the way.
Bells samba, bells rings.
Make it spirit bright.
What fun it is to laugh and sing to sing song tonight.
Oh, jingle bell,
To be honest, to finish it is better than what the hell they did last time.
all the way. Oh, it's fine, it's alright, what will you say? Yahoo! Jingle all the way. Oh, what boy, it is too late, what to say?
All it fun is to ride in one horse open sleigh.
Obviously, they probably did that as a bulk recording. See y'all, have a good day, peace. And when I see you next, we'll be going into the videos where I was behind... I'm either in the video or I was behind the development of these videos, so I know what happened. Yeah, this is the last video where I never really had any idea what happened behind the scenes. The next several videos we'll be doing will be videos where I was involved. So see y'all, have a good day, peace. And I'll see you then.